Hi everyone, Doug here. Welcome to yet another board game channel and yet another go in Eldritch Horror at making sure that Shudde never wakes up. Before we start properly playing, I need to fix a couple of things. A couple of turns back, I messed up on the rumor when we got a reckoning. It's supposed to advance the Omen by one. I just did the Doom, which is, of course, wrong. So I think, yeah, a couple people pointed that out. Desert Raven Gamer and Erandos Salvian. And I think I figured out how things should be fixed. On turn 8, I moved the Doom instead of the Omen. I would have moved the Omen to the green symbol, which would have moved us ahead of Doom anyway because we had a single green gate on the board. So no net difference. But then last turn, when the Omen moved, it went to blue, which meant no Doom movement. However, when it came time to do a monster surge, I put a couple of monsters on Istanbul because I thought we were on the green Omen. We weren't. So instead, we should have spawned a gate. So we're going to do that now. Take the top gate, and we get Antarctica, which will spawn a whole new monster. I just put the other two monsters back in the bag, and I'm drawing from scratch. Antarctica gets a Carrier Night Gaunt. There we go. A little bit tricky to fight with a penalty on strength. If you pass both the will and strength tests, you may choose to have this monster lose no health. If you do, you and this monster move to a space within two spaces. Oh, you can decide to ride him somewhere. Of course, then you still have to fight him in the new location if you hang around. Okay, I think that fixed everything. I'm hoping. Does mean next turn, well, at the end of this turn, if we, well, when it does move, when the Omen track does move, because it will every single turn from now on, we're going to, yeah, the Doom is going to plummet by 3, which is going to cause some devastation, which might not be the worst thing, sort of a good news, bad news sort of situation, because to solve our last mystery, we do need to have devastation encounters, and if we have another devastation location, it gives us some more options getting around the board. But for now, everybody, well, not everybody, but we'll see. Most people are going to try to get to Rome. So we think, yes, the Antarctica gate does not alter the plans that I made. So we are going to go into the action phase now, and Ashcan Pete is still our lead investigator, so we're going to join him. Okay, Pete, well, not going to send him off to Rome yet, because we need clues to do what we want to do there. In fact, I'm pretty sure we need 2 clues each time, because if you pass that test, you have to spend a clue to place a clue. I'm pretty sure that means 2 separate clues, because when you spend one, it's discarded, not put on the card. So, Pete has no clues, so he's going to slowly make his way to Rome. by way of research encounters. So he is going to move for his first action, and for his second action, just to make absolutely sure he gets that, he is going to grab himself a focus, giving him 2. Okay, now we'll be visiting Antarctica again, and Patrice Hathaway. Alright, Patrice, still working her way over towards the frozen waste to work on the first stage of our current Antarctica adventure. So for her first action, she will move 1. For her second action, she's going to do the banishment again, because she can do a lot better now, because she gains +3 lore when resolving spell effects. And yeah, so she's going to test her lore +2, +3, and that should let her take something away from, again, the nearest gate, like last time, is Shanghai, so she should be able to get rid of something off of there. So, I'm going to need this. Her lore is 3, +2 is 5, plus another 3 is 8. Let's clear some critters out of Shanghai. Yeah, I think it's the most useful thing she can do right now. Or possibly not. She didn't get any successes on her first 5 dice. So, she somehow managed to only get 2. That is enough to get the ghast out of Shanghai. Oh wait, Antarctica is much closer now. I forgot there's a gate on Antarctica. Well, that's okay. It means she managed to get rid of the carrier night gaunt. Right, I forgot. We have a new gate. That changed from my previous plans. Okay, that is it for Patrice. So we're going to go back over to the perennially unlucky Jim Culver. Okay, once again, Jim is going to grab himself a focus and perform a rest action. So he's up now to 3 health and 3 sanity, so he's doing better there. Fingers crossed, it'd be really great if he could roll successfully when we do the encounters this time. We'll just have to see. Alright, that leaves us with Sister Mary. Alright. Sister Mary. She is going to, well, we want to send as many people as we can off to Rome. So what Sister Mary is going to do first is grab herself a ship ticket. And then second action, she will move on to space 20 and extend that by spending her ship ticket over to space 17, where hopefully she'll pick herself up an extra clue, which will make everything much easier over in Rome. Alright, that is it for the actions. Now we will move on to, and fingers crossed on a lot of these, the encounter phase. Okay, Pete is going to have himself a research encounter. Try to grab that clue. He's on a wilderness space. Yeah, the pyramids count as wilderness. Focus, there we go. The glyphs on an ancient warding stone suggest you might use it to experience the memories of a shaman long dead. However, simply touching the stone makes you itch, a vile corruption festering beneath your skin. You may gain 1 Bane condition to gain this clue and 1 additional clue. I don't want to be cursed. What are other options? Oh yes, you could also be haunted or blighted. Of course, Pete is rolling an awful lot of dice right now. I was hoping to get him there. He would have 2 clues, so he'd be able to just go to Rome next turn by riding the rails. Oh. Now, I think a Bane is just going to make it way too difficult for him to actually succeed once he's there. And he can ride the rails to get there quickly if we want to pass through Istanbul. Well, could go straight there as well. No, yeah, I probably should take the chance, but I'm going to be timid on this decision. So, Pete will just have to try to grab that next turn. Alright, we will now move on to Patrice Hathaway in the frozen waste of Antarctica. Alright, we will grab an encounter card for Patrice here. Frozen waste. You search the wreckage of a plane that went off course. That'll be her observation, which is 3. And where did I put my dice? There they are. Right, must keep in mind that she can re-roll 1 die once around because of her Antarctic guide. Oh, not 1, it didn't matter. She got a success first time anyway. Alright. If you pass, you find a compartment used for smuggling arms. Gain 1 random weapon asset from the deck. Alright, let's see how long it takes us to find one of those. Service, a lot of trinkets and services, and there we go. The rest of them in the discard. She picked up a 25 automatic. Not much of a weapon to be smuggling, but okay. Roll 1 additional die when resolving a strength test during a combat encounter. And that can be on top of any pluses. This is just an additional die rather than a stat boost. Now, having done that, we see on the frozen waste, after an investigator resolves a location encounter, on the space they may move to the City of the Elders, Elder Things, or Lake Camp. We want to move to the City of the Elder Things because after an investigator resolves a location encounter on Frozen Waste, they may move the adventure token to City of the Elder Things. And then we will, next turn, have an encounter there, and then spend a clue and move our mystery forward without having to do all this malarkey up in Rome. Alright. That's it for Patrice. Now I'm dreading this next bit. We're going to have Jim try to do that rumor again. Alright, Jim will once again try to roll using his observation of 3, which is respectable, with a focus, so he gets a re-roll. Oh, thank God. It took him a while. A lot of hunting and searching and looking around. But finally, if we pass that observation check, convinces La Policia to remove these strangers. He may spend clues equal to half the investigators. So there are the 2 clues that are going away to solve this rumor. That card finally goes away, as does that little token, which will hopefully never plague us again. Thank you, Jim. Oof. And he didn't even have to use his focus. Now he's going to go have to pick up clues and head off to Rome like everyone else. Alright. We finally did that, so now we will wrap up the encounters with Sister Mary over in India. Okay, let's see if Mary can pick up an extra clue, which you can always trade to somebody later if she needs to. So we are on a city space. With a thundering crash, a massive worm comes barreling through a building, splinters flying inches from your head. Your instinct urges you to flee, no kidding, but opportunities to study these creatures are scarce. An ancient Chthonian epic monster ambushes you. Great, you may gain 1 injury condition to gain this clue. Okay, well first she's going to have to do a round. Just a single round. Even if she doesn't kill it, it'll go away because it's an ambush. Yeah, I've got to dig out an ancient Chthonian epic monster. Back in a moment. Alright. There it is. Ancient Chthonian. See, it's pretty darn tough. On the other hand, if anybody can deal with this, it's Sister Mary, because she has got so much good stuff. First of all, she will need to do her sanity check. It's a will -1, trying to prevent 2. Well, her will is 4, plus 2, because of the Book of the Dead. So that is 6, -1 is 5. And she has the Profane Tome, which will let her re-roll 1 die when doing a will test during combat. So, yeah, she is going to... Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, -1, 5. Okay, 5 plus a re-roll. She doesn't need the re-roll. She prevented the 2 sanity damage. So now... scoop those up. Yeah, we're going to do a strength -2 check. Trying to prevent 3 damage. Trying to do 5. Because if we can beat this thing, there's a couple of good things that could happen. Mary would get a clue, because whenever a monster is defeated, and this would be defeating it, not discarding, if she can do 5. Gain a clue also. When you defeat a monster with toughness 2 or more during a combat encounter, you may examine the creature's remains. Observation check, and if you pass, get 2 clues and discard the card. And I looked it up to make sure. I'm fairly certain for these particular instances, this counts as just a monster. We're not doing anything really special in getting rid of it. It's just a straightforward fight. So, what is she going to get to do? Well, her strength is 2, plus 4 from the Holy Spear, and her Hitman allows her to roll 1 additional die when resolving a strength test. So that will be 6. That'll be 7 -2. So she's going to roll 5. If she does extremely, extremely well here, I know it's unlikely. She'd need to roll all successes. We mostly just want to get 3 to prevent taking any damage. Oh god, she's got 4. And the Mauser, we can't use the +2, but we can re-roll 1 die when resolving a strength test. So, yeah, she's got the 4 successes. If she can... No, it's really tempting to use up my focus to see if she can actually kill the thing. Yeah, let's do it. Go for it, because we could definitely get 1 clue, potentially get 3 if we kill this thing. No, oh well. Had to try. Okay, at least she takes absolutely no damage from it. Sister Mary is a machine right now. She held this thing off with very little difficulty. However, to get the clue, we need to gain an injury condition. And I think we will do that. Injury conditions can, be gotten rid of by resting at least. So, if I grab from the bottom, she fought it off valiantly, but did manage to get herself a leg injury. When we perform a rest action, we roll one die on a 5 or 6, discard the card, and on the reckoning we will test her strength, and if we fail, flip the card. However, it means she does get that clue. She has 3 clues, so she could do some sharing if need be. Okay, that is it for the encounters. It was a fairly eventful encounter phase. We got stuff done and we fought a big old epic monster. However, now we'll see, bad things are really going to happen now. Over onto that space. Yes, because now we unavoidably are going into the dreaded Mythos phase. Okay, I'm pretty sure this has to be a Reckoning card, if I'm counting things correctly. But yeah, all kinds of horrible things are going to happen before we get even close to this part. Because first, drop the card, we will be moving the Omen track, which unfortunately, because we have 3 red gates on the board, will have us move 1, 2, 3 Doom. So we're down to 7, and we passed an Eldritch token, which means yes, it is time for another bit of devastation. Upheaval. All around the world, locations of great importance are reduced to rubble overnight. Each investigator on an active expedition space or an adjacent space loses 2 health and 2 sanity. Oh dear, that's going to be Pete. Search the encounter deck for each card corresponding to the active expedition and return it to the game box, then shuffle the expedition encounter deck and repeat this process 2 additional times. Oh boy. Okay, well, first of all, that means Pete, because he's next to the heart of Africa, is going to take... Oh, okay, something I keep forgetting about. Oh, I'm not going to quite do that yet. He's going to take 2 health damage. Definitely. Knocking him down to 2 health. However, rather than have him possibly take 2 sanity, must remember that Jim has the Instill Bravery spell. Once per round, when an investigator would lose sanity, you may test lore. His lore is 4. If you pass, prevent that investigator from losing up to 2 sanity. So, we're going to see if Jim, rolling 4 dice, can prevent Pete from going a little bit crazy from this event. He did succeed. Then we have to flip the card and see if anything happens to Jim. Casting the magic requires a payment of blood. Lose 1 health. That leaves Jim at 2 health. But he did prevent a pretty big sanity loss for Pete, whose scales are now completely useless, unfortunately. Maybe we can fix that. Right, so now we are going to get rid of all the Heart of Africa expedition encounters from the deck. You don't need to watch me go through this. Back in a moment. Okay, all the Heart of Africa cards are now out of the game. So we're going to have to shuffle this. Do it upside down so I can't see what's going to be on top. Because now the expedition will move to... Couldn't tell what it was from space. San Francisco. So it moves here. But now we are repeating the process the first time, which means, oh yeah, there goes Jim. Each investigator on an active expedition space or adjacent. Jim is adjacent. So he's going to take 2 sanity, which would be fine, except he also takes 2 health damage, which is enough to kill him. If he hadn't cast that spell for repeat. Now, he stays there, as it is a city space. So we'll put Jim aside. We lost another one. Let's clear up all his stuff. And, yeah, that means this goes down once more. Ugh. And now we have to get rid of all the San Francisco encounters from the expedition deck. Cut away again. There we go. There are only 2 of them. But those are no longer in play. So now we will shuffle again. Once more upside down so I can't even subconsciously choose where it's going to end up. It looks like Antarctica. Oh, it's going to move down here. And yes, we do this one final time. Fortunately, nobody is in or adjacent to this space. Even Patrice, who is in Antarctica proper, is at least 3 spaces away. So at least we didn't lose anybody else. We only lost Jim. But yes, again, before moving on to the next bit, we have to get rid of all the Antarctica encounters. Back in a moment. Okay. Those are now gone. So now we get to see the final location, see where the expedition actually ends up. That is what it, oh, that's Arkham. All right. Expedition up in Arkham. Oof. All right. That was pretty nasty. All right. That was it for just that first bit. Now we have to do actual reckonings. We start with the monsters. The werewolf moves 1 space towards the nearest investigator, then everybody on the space loses a health. Oh, there we go. Into the same spot as Pete. Pete is down to 1 health. This could end us. Then we have the Zoog. Move this monster to the nearest investigator, then that investigator discards one item possession. So it's going to move to Sister Mary, who has to lose an item. I think we're going to, yeah, we're going to lose the Mauser. We have the much better Holy Spirit giving us a plus. We lose 1 reroll. But yeah, there's nothing else I want to lose instead. So we'll do that. Next up, the Knopfcat. Each investigator on this space loses a health. Nobody is on that space. And yes, oh no, there's one more after this. The Migu discard the nearest clue and move the monster there. That'll be Tokyo. That is a single space away. And the hunting horror, move to the nearest investigator who immediately encounters. Well, that's going to be Sister Mary. She is a single space away, and it's already hurt by one. And as we've seen, she's actually the ideal monster killer at this point. So let's zoom in and have ourselves another combat encounter. Alright. First things first. The sanity check should be will -1, trying to prevent 3 sanity. Her will is 4. +2 from the Book of the Dead is 6, but -1 is the modifier on there. And she will get to re-roll 1 die. Okay, she's got 2. And she's going to use the Profane Tome to re-roll once. Okay, she took no sanity. Nothing phases Sister Mary. Now she's got to fight this thing. It's an unmodified strength check. We want to prevent 2 damage. It's got 3 toughness, but we've already done 1 damage to it, so we need 2 successes. So that'll be her strength of 2 +4 because of the Holy Spear, so that'll be 6. The Hitman allows her to re-roll, to roll 1 additional die, so she'll be rolling 7 dice, and we want 2 successes. Okay. Got 1. Gonna re-roll. Gonna roll 2 more. Gonna go ahead and spend 1 clue, because if she defeats it, she'll get a clue back. And I'd like us not to take any damage. Damn. Okay, never mind. We're gonna have to stop there. So she does take 1 damage, leaving her at 2. And we haven't quite killed this thing. Alright, she can handle huge epic monsters, but this thing giving her trouble. Alright, that was it for monster reckoning effects. Now we got a whole bunch more to do. Next up is, yes, Shudde Mel's effect. Each investigator loses a total of 2 health and or sanity. Well, Pete, it's going to have to be all sanity, because he's down to 1 health. That leaves him at 1 health and 2 sanity. Patrice, she'll take 1 of each, leaving her at 3 health, 4 sanity. And Sister Mary, she's only down to 2 health, but has 5 sanity. So yeah, she'll take 2 sanity damage, leaving her at 2 health, 3 sanity. So at least that didn't kill anybody. Good news is, before dying, Jim took out that rumor card, finally, so we don't need to move the omen track again, which would cause, yeah, that would make another, that would make more happen. Alright, now we have to go to items and conditions. So, with his scales of Thoth, Pete needs to lose 1 health and or 1 sanity. Well, he's going to take 1 sanity, leaving him at 1 and 1. Patrice has nothing. Jim had the Dark Pact, which isn't going to happen. Guess that's okay. It's too bad he had to die to do it. And Sister Mary's leg injury that she just got is giving her trouble, so she's going to test her strength, which is just 2. Okay, she succeeded. Alright, I think that was it for Reckonings. I hope that was it for Reckonings. Next up, yes, we're going to spawn a gate in Buenos Aires. Yeah, I think this turn has probably destroyed us for the rest of the game. Looking at what's going to happen, I'm going to get 2 doom next turn, 1 after that, 2 after that. So I'm doing a really bad job at closing gates. And Buenos Aires has a rat thing, which has actually got an observation instead of sanity. If you fail the observation test, discard 1 item possession. So the little rat thing steals stuff from you if you don't kill it. Whew. All right. Now the rest of the bad news. An article on the back page of the newspaper catches your attention. An unexplained attack on a remote outpost left no survivors. You've read about 2 other similar attacks happening in the same region. You can see that the forgotten corners of the globe are growing more dangerous. Ancient Guardians spawn 2 monsters on the active expedition space. So it's lots more monsters. 2 of them are going to show up in Arkham. Alright, there's 1 in my hand, and there is 2. So hanging out in Arkham, well, there's appropriate. Deep 1 hybrid. And a deep 1. Okay, so apparently it's the Innsmouth part of town, specifically. This one has a reckoning effect. Each investigator on this space loses 1 sanity. Alright, so I'll put that in a couple of stands. And end that. Okay. Another investigator down. I think the problem is I have been concentrating on the mysteries so much that the gates have gone crazy. We should have been able to get the mysteries done faster than we did, but everybody kept blowing rolls so badly. Yeah, I think we'll have to ignore Rome right now and try to get everybody to close some gates. I think it'll depend where our replacement investigator ends up. We'll see where that is. If we're lucky, it's like in Istanbul, right on top of that gate, and we can close it. Or, well, nobody spawns in Antarctica. Maybe Buenos Aires. Fingers crossed. Okay. Well, after that bit of a mess, I hope you'll still join me next time. Thanks very much for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the videos both on YouTube and Board Game Geek. It's very much appreciated. And I will see you next time for yet another turn of Eldritch Horror. So long.